You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borg. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Friday, 10th day of March, 2023. Everybody's been working for the weekend, and by golly, it's just a few hours away. Thanks so much for joining us today. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're always just glad to have you right here, right now. This is our second live broadcast of the day. Our first live broadcast is from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern every trading day. That is our live training room, and it is reserved for members only and those who are taking their 1-week free trial. If you've not taken your 1-week free trial, you can do so by going to mytradingiq.com. Just click that button at the top of the page, and your trial will begin. You don't have to start on a Monday. You can start any day of the week, even a Saturday or a Sunday. In fact, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are great days to click that button and begin the free trial, because that gives us an opportunity to help you get your charts set up before the markets open Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, so you'll be ready to go. Now, this afternoon broadcast is open to the public. That's everybody everywhere on planet Earth with an internet-connected device. It could be a phone, a tablet, a PC, or Mac. Doesn't matter. There are two different ways you can join this afternoon broadcast. The first way, go to mytradingiq.com. Scroll down to where it says Afternoon Broadcast. Click the link. Complete the 30-second registration form, and you're done. Every trading day going forward, you'll get an email about an hour before the broadcast starts. At 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you into our platform. Now, that's really the better way to join, because it gives you access to the question box so you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. However, there will be days, of course, that you're out of the office, away from your desktop, maybe even on vacation. You still want to join the afternoon broadcast live. All you have to do is take that internet-connected device, point the browser to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/CFRN. Easy to remember because you already know the youtube.com part. Just add a /CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live every trading day on our YouTube channel, but we also archive each and every daily live broadcast. Currently, there's over 2,200 individual daily episodes archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. If you're new to the world of CFRN, it's a great way to get to know not only who we are today, but who we've been over the years. You can scroll back 6 weeks, 6 months, a year, 2 years, even more. And of course, we don't expect you to listen to every broadcast, but Just pick some days at random. What you'll find, and just listen to snippets, what you'll find is a thread of connectivity, a thread of continuity that's woven through each and every daily live broadcast. With that said, let's open with a word of prayer. Now, of course, Easter is around the corner, and so this week and into next week, we're going to talk about what Easter really is. We've been talking about it. We'll continue. It's the promise of forgiveness, paid in full. Our scripture today is Luke 23, verses 32 through 43, and I'll be reading from the Message translation. Two others, both criminals, were taken along with him for execution. When they got to the place called Skull Hill, they crucified him along with the criminals, one on his right, the other on his left. Jesus prayed, "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." Dividing up his clothes, they threw dice for them. People stood there staring at Jesus, and the ringleaders made faces, taunting. "He saved others. Let's see him save himself. The Messiah of God. Ha! The chosen. Ha!" The soldiers also came and poked fun at him, making a game of it. They toasted him with sour wine. "So you're the king of the Jews. Save yourself." Printed over him was a sign, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals hanging alongside cursed him. "Some Messiah you are. Save yourself. Save us." But the other criminal made him shut up. "Have you no fear of God? You're getting the same as him. We deserve this, but not him. He did nothing to deserve this." And then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you enter your kingdom." Jesus said, "Don't worry, I will. Today you will join me in paradise." Poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow said, "If we could read the secret history of our enemies, we should find in each man's life sorrow and suffering enough to disarm all hostility." Longfellow's words are an important reminder that every person has a context, a story. There were events that contributed to shaping them into the people they've become and that impact our encounters with them. We know our own history of joy and pain, success and struggle, and we need to recognize and remember that others have their own life-shaping history as well. When Jesus hung on the cross, the events swirling around him involved people who also had stories. Soldiers made brutal by years of combat, religionists hardened by years of trying to obey the law, crowds desperate for rescue, but without real hope. None of that excused their hate-filled actions. But it may help to explain why Christ showed them mercy when he cried from the cross, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing." While never condoning or excusing the pain that people inflict on one another, we can learn to appropriately show mercy when we understand that there's a secret history behind the pain people cause. After all, as Jesus said, even our Heavenly Father is kind to those who are unthankful and wicked. Join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your mercy and for your grace. You've shown us for all the wrongs in our life and the gift of forgiveness offered at the cross. Lord, give us a heart of forgiveness and mercy toward those who wrong us, for often they know not what they do. It's in Jesus' name we believe and pray. Everybody said, Amen. Well, happy Friday. I hope it is a happy Friday for you, whoever you are and wherever you are. We had some very important economic reports this morning, and the volatility in the markets. While we don't have a lot of movers or shakers, volatility inside of what we do have is pretty incredible. Starting here in the U.S., the cash markets, or the indices as they're called, the Dow is down 145 points. The NASDAQ is down 102. That is almost 1%. S&P 500 is down 28. And the Russell 2000 down 28 as well. But for the Russell, or man in the street, that's a drop of 1.5%. In the commodity basket, crude oil up 48 cents, trading 76.20 last. Gold up $28.20, trading 18.62 last. It's a gain of 1.5%. Silver up 36 cents, trading 20.52 last. That's a gain of almost 2%. In the Asian markets at the close, Nikkei down 479 points, over 1.5%. Shanghai down 46, 1.5%. The Hang Seng down 605 points, a little over 3%. In the European markets at the close, FTSE down 131 points, over 1.5%. The DAX down 205 points, over 1.25%. The CAC down 95, also a little over 1.25%. So that gave us a red day in Asia. It was a red day in the UK. So far, it's definitely a red Radio Friday here in the US of A. At 12:40, Michael will join us. He'll give us a recap of everything that happened this morning in the live training room. And then at 1 p.m. Eastern, we will go live on TradingView and do a half hour of trading on the TradingView stream. So you can watch it on YouTube, you can watch it on our go-to platform, or you can go right to TradingView itself and just look for the upcoming streams, and you'll see that it says it starts in 44 minutes. Logic 247. That's our 24/7 around the clock E-mini alert service. We're in week 240 of Logic 247. And over those 240 weeks, we've issued over 13,600 individual handcrafted alerts. Since the market opened Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, we issued a total of 29 alerts. 4 never triggered. We're all caught up. We had 25 actionable alerts, of which 4 or 16% would have been stopped out based on not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, less when possible, based on market structure and a very simple 3-step process that we teach all of our passport holders in their unlimited one-on-one mentoring sessions. Over the last 240 weeks, we've averaged 20% or less of the logic alerts and stopped out based on that risk profile. Now, when an alert comes out, there's time built in for you to study the alert, study your 30-minute chart, and see the window of opportunity that the alert represents. So you have plenty of time to get ready, be prepared, and then as price reaches the entry price of the alert, whether it's long or short, that's when you use everything you learn in the live training room every trading day. 2 hours of live training with a live instructor, putting on, taking off trades, explaining every move he makes, every trade he takes, and the rule behind it, while answering your questions as you trade along in your demo account until you qualify to go live. Now, our original alert service, the concierge trade alerts, they're a little bit different. Logic alerts, as I said, come out around the clock. It could be 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. It just depends on when opportunity presents itself, when the markets are conducive to trading. There hasn't been a lot of those opportunities this week. But the concierge trade alerts, our original alert service, those are based on historic price action. And they do not come out around the clock. They are posted as a static report shortly after the Globex open each evening. It's kind of like paint by numbers. The market opened last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. That was the beginning of the Friday session, even though it was still Thursday night here in the U.S. Now, we cover all of the same markets with the CTAs as we do with the logic alerts. When this report comes out, we'll use the ES as an example. First thing you want to do on your 30-minute chart is make note of where price is at this time. It's always going to be in between these two numbers. And while you're doing that, draw a line in the sand at 39.87 and 38.87 in this case. Those serve as visual cues so that you're always on the right side of the street. If the market's dropping, you don't want to be long. If the market's rallying, you don't want to be short. And when there's increased volatility, as we saw this morning, sometimes the best position is no position. Now, once the report is published, and you've made your notes and drawn your lines in the sand, if price gets above the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the long target. If price is below the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the short target. It's kind of that simple. You always look left to spot potential obstacles, be they support or resistance, whether you're trading long or short. And over time, you'll learn how price behaves at a weekly trading zone. Remember, price is always trying to reach a weekly trading zone. If it's above the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to reach the zone overhead. If it's below the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to reach the zone below. We've published the weekly trading zone since December 14th of 2009. That's a lot of years of data. It tells us since we began publishing the weekly zones for our members way back in 2009, the one thing that has changed is absolutely nothing. Only three things happen at a weekly zone. Consolidation is going to happen 70% of the time. 20% of the time you'll see rejection. And about 10% of the time you'll see what's called the slice. That's when price slices through a zone like it's not even there. And then when that move runs out of steam, it will typically retrace back to the zone it sliced through and continue in the direction of the slice. Now, all members and all free trial members had these numbers last night at 6:10 p.m. Eastern. Because this broadcast is open to the public, many of you did not have the numbers last night at 6:10 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to grab a screenshot, go right ahead. We're going to walk through each one of these individual charts. Okay. But we're going to start where we always do, the daily chart. You say, well, that's not for me. I don't trade the daily chart. Yeah, I don't either. Last night, yesterday afternoon, in the discussion group, drew this little line here. Okay. Well, we'll back up a little bit. First, we had the bearish cross. Price came down to test the 38% fib retracement. Now, the fibs were drawn from the low of the downtrend we've been in for almost a year now. Low was put in October 13th. The most recent swing high was put in on February 2nd. Now, you'll notice as price pulls back to this green line, it's called the BBC. Stands for bull, bear, cross. Price crosses below it, we're bearish, anticipating lower prices. When price crosses above it, bullish, anticipating higher prices. And right here, you can see the pullback held, and it held, and it held, and it held, and it held here for a day. But we know eventually price will trade through the BBC. And so as we were building legs to the upside, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, trace, leg, trace. Now we're building legs because we traded through the BBC. Price pulled back to the BBC. Now we're building legs in the opposite direction. This arrow is pointing at the previous bearish cross. On Sunday night, I posted a chart in the discussion group that said if price manages to poke above the 24% fib retracement, anticipate resistance at the bearish cross. And there it was, practically to the tick. Then price from that resistance came down, gave us a leg, a retracement to the BBC, which held. Remember, if it pulls from above, it holds more often than not. And if it pulls up from below, it holds more often than it doesn't. So we knew that there was potential resistance at the low put in on March 12th, March 2nd. So we drew in this line yesterday, and we barely pulled through it. Now this is the Friday candle. We opened, moved a little bit higher. That was off of the news this morning. But what we said was if we take out this low, put it on January 19th, then the most likely place for the market to find support will be at the 50% fib retracement. Notice back over here. Now this wasn't the 50% fib retracement until this high was put in. But no matter what market you're trading or time frame you're trading, the clock on the wall is always price. So as price comes down to the 50% fib retracement, you should see a bounce and then another leg to the downside. We could get caught up between the 50 and the 62. We could spend quite a number of days trading in between that range. If we take out the 62, then we look to the low, November 3rd, as potential support, the low of October 21st, the low of October 14th, then the low of the entire downtrend, October 13th. So price is done. Last night in the workshop, this is what we talked about. This is what we discussed. And there's no magic, no voodoo, no crystal balls. It's simply being able to read a chart, understand where the important areas, major areas of support and resistance are, and understanding how price behaves when those areas are overcome. Now remember, institutional traders, the ones who are responsible for moving price, because their accounts are denominated in hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, they look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts the way you and I look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. So the purpose of looking at the daily chart, no matter what market you trade or what stock or what crypto or what forex pair, by spending a couple minutes looking at the daily chart of the market or markets you trade, you'll know which way the wind's blowing. It's like sticking your head out the window. Is it raining? Is the sun shining? You'll know what you need to wear for the day. So we can see sellers are in control. Why are sellers in control? Because institutional buyers have hit the pause button. And when that happens, those institutions who specialize or focus on short selling come out of the woodwork, drive the market lower because there's no resistance. Again, we're coming into support here at 38.68. We're not there yet. Low of the session so far is 38.78. So that would take us down another 10 points. Our lowest weekly zone for the week is at 38.34 / 38.35. So again, you don't have to spend a lot of time with the daily chart, but you can easily see and identify where would our first major resistance be, the high of today, the 38% fib retracement. Support low of the day, and then the 50% fib retracement. And then these lows right across here. Then we're at the 62, here, here, and here. You can jot those numbers down if you want, if you don't have enough monitors to keep a daily chart up. Just jot down the important numbers and understand which way price is heading. And you understand that by looking at your 30-minute chart. Is price above the BBC or below the BBC? Remember, price is always trying to get to a zone. If it's below the BBC, it's trying to get to the zone below, as we saw yesterday. This vertical line separates today, Friday, from yesterday, Thursday. But remember, Friday started last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. Market open, down we came, right to the short target. That random line, the CTA short target. Just a random line. Price comes down, hits it to the tick. Then an important thing happens. Red and falling turns to blue and climbing. One is bearish, the other bullish. So as price gets above the 30-minute BBC, we now know that price is trying to reach the weekly zone overhead. 39.43/44. The high so far, 39.4175. So zones are an area just like fibs. They print an exact price point on your chart, but they remain an area. So price found resistance at the zone. Now again, there was incredible volatility this morning. This is the 8:30 candle right here. In 30 minutes, the S&P traveled from 39.41 down to 38.92. That's basically 50 points. At $50 a point, it's $2,500 per contract traded. But it wasn't a directional trade. The candle opened here, dropped to here, rallied all the way up to here, closed here. The next candle took us back to the BBC. Price got below the BBC. And there we go, hitting that random line again and again and again. And one last time, right there. Now, we're on the verge of a bearish cross. That's when red and falling. It's called the CFMA1. I refer to it as red and falling, blue and climbing. When this thing turns blue, start expecting higher prices. When it turns red, start expecting lower prices. And then trade what's in front of you, okay? As price comes up to the BBC and red and falling, and the step line, that is potential resistance times 3. So if the market, in fact, does find resistance here, we'll look for another leg to the downside. And where would there be a great window of opportunity? Well, we're only 5 minutes into the life of this candle. So you could wait for price, try to take out this low. Here's an area right there. More than enough to give you your goal for the day. 38.99 down to 38.92. Okay. But again, I would wait for this candle to close. And when the next, because this candle's printing green, you want to see red if you're going to short the market. And you want to be below the BBC. So on the ES, the CTA short target hit once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. And again, if this becomes good resistance, so very well may hit it again. On the Dow, this was a little window of opportunity we drew in yesterday afternoon. The market not only filled the window, but it came all the way down. Here's the open last night. Got red and falling. Price comes right down to the target and finds support at the zone. Remember, price is always trying to get to a weekly zone. It's below the BBC, it's the zone below. It's above the BBC, it's the zone above. Does it always get there? No, but at least you know what it's trying to do. Now, these zones are published Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern for our members and trial members. Once they're published on Monday morning, carved in stone for the entire week. They don't change in any way whatsoever. So here we are on Friday, finding support at this week's lowest weekly trading zone. On the Russell, here's where the market opened last night. Came right down to the target. Caught a bounce. Got that crazy volatility off the econ reports. Came down, hit the short target again. Pulled up to the BBC. Pull back holds more often than not. Hit the target again. Exceeded it. And that right there is the lowest weekly trading zone for the week on the Russell. So it's like we're going to close this week below the lowest weekly zone on the Russell. In Q, market opens. We attempt a short target, but blue and climbing gets in the way. Remember, when red and falling turns to blue and climbing, expect higher prices. That's what happened. Price walked right up the back of blue and climbing to the zone overhead at 12:081/82. That zone was published Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Here it is Friday, resistance, 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 support. And price moves up to a zone. Price is always looking to get to a zone. We expect resistance on the way up, support on the way down. And yes, we did hit the target and exceeded it and even spiked the zone. On crude, market opened here. Here's the window of opportunity we drew on the broadcast yesterday afternoon. Price came down after we opened the target again and again and again and again and again. And we got above the BBC, caught a leg to the upside, pull back to the BBC, pull back holds more often than not, and then off we go, long target. So we hit both of those random lines, the short one and the green one. And I say random because I'm cracking wise with I wouldn't even go into the details. I'm having too much fun. Gold. Here's where we open, pull back to the BBC, caught a leg and a retracement and a leg and a retracement on target. And gold just went wow. We haven't seen a big move like this in gold now in a while. The next zone overhead, 1876. Need to see that previous swing high taken out. And that gives you 1873 up to the zone at 75. It's $200 per contract traded. Silver, two-sided action. Market open, got below the zone, hit the target. Red and falling, turned to blue and climbing. We got back above the zone. Price pulled back to the BBC. The pullback held, gave us a leg. Got another pullback, ultimately held. And that sent us up to the CTA long target. Two-sided action. And where did the market find resistance? At the zone, published Monday morning. And the euro. Here's where the market opened, just a lot of congestion. We did spike down just enough to touch the short target. And then as we got back above the BBC, we'd already hit the long target several times, but we sailed right through it, through 1, 2, 3, 4 zones. So that brings us back to the daily chart where we closed today. Incredibly important. Do we work our way down to the 50? If so, that's going to make for an interesting open on Sunday night. Because again, institutions watch daily, weekly, and monthly charts the way we watch 30-minute, 5-minute tick charts, range charts. And so a 50% retracement on a daily chart, that will get institutions' attention. If we don't get a bounce, then this huge down move that I've been talking about since this day very well may play out. We could easily take out that October 13th low. Remember, we've been in a downtrend almost a year. March 29th of this month will mark 1 year we've been in a downtrend. Michael, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. I am ready.
Okay.
All right. You want me to take it?
Take it away.
Here we go. Right there.
All righty. Looks good.
All right. Excellent. So, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Friday, the 10th day of March, 2023. If you've not taken a free trial with us and you want to, go here to mytradingiq.com and click on this right here. It says sign up for your free 5-day training. Now, 9:30 to 11:30 Eastern time. Click on that and you'll be sent all the information. It'll go here. I'll show you. It'll go here and fill out this little form. It's really a quick form. Just fill out this little form and you'll be sent all the information you need to get into the room in the morning for the next 5 consecutive business days. If you're going to do that, you should definitely go here and download the trading platform, whichever one you want. If you already have DT Pro, use that. If you already have NinjaTrader, use that. If you already have TradingView, use that. If you have either of those other platforms and you don't have TradingView, I'm just going to suggest do the free version with TradingView because we got a lot of things in TradingView that we don't have with the other ones. Okay. That I just can't get to the other. I'm going to show you all the stuff in TradingView. And I might even go through, if I have enough time, it's 12:45, I have 15 minutes. If I have enough time, I'll go through something really quick with you to show you the evolution of what we have with TradingView right now. All right, so that's how you get that and do that. And now the recap. I gotta say something. There was a mistake here since I started trading the NQ over here. There has been a mistake. All right, this number right here was multiplied by 6.25 instead of by 5. So that was a mistake. It should be multiplied by 5. All right, it was 6.25 when it was referring to the euro. It also has NQYM, the Russell, but the euro and the pound would be 6.25. The NQYM and the Russell are not. The crude is in this column by itself. So I corrected that today. All right. So if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Now, correcting it today corrected it all for all this stuff, I think. If I correct, well, let me just make sure it's corrected for all the stuff, right? Let me just do copy of that and paste there. Okay. So there, now it's corrected for all of it. All right. So if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today we made 170 ticks in the NQ. Okay, we lost 10 ticks in crude, we made 10 ticks in gold, and we're break even on the ES. That put us at plus 850 on the morning session. Again, this correction is going to affect all the days prior to this where we had trades on the NQ, all right, or on the YM, but those, it's going to affect all those days as well. So today it took this stuff over here. All this is still good. Everything from that column over is still good. It's just the totals. Now we're going to have a little bit of an effect. But today it took 6 minutes and 3 trades to get to the goal for the day. And at that point, we're up $600 a contract. I'm sorry, that's $600 total, not a contract. I had 3 contracts on, and I made $200 per contract. But it puts it at $600. So, and we took 24 trades this morning. So on the month now, we're at $5,630. That's over 8 trading days, averaging $703 per contract per 2-hour trading day. See, that updated all of these days right here, all of these totals from being 6.25 times those numbers to 5. So everything is good in the world. Everything is accurate as much as I can make it. All right. So on the month now, we're at $5,630. That's over 8 trading days, averaging $703 per contract per 2-hour trading day. All of these numbers are still right, okay, because those don't get affected by anything over here. So we did still get our goal on 46 out of 47 days. We are still 16 days since our last blue day and 394 days since our last red day. Now, all these numbers down here are going to get affected a little bit too. These numbers will not, but these numbers will. So on the year, we're now at $20,430. That should be right. $20,430. That's over 47 trading days, averaging $434 per contract per 2-hour trading day. These numbers are unchanged. If you were to add 1 contract per month and quit trading when you get your goal for the day, you still would have only worked 11.86 hours, and you would have averaged $842 per hour. That is what I actually did do so far this year. I averaged $842 per hour for those 11.86 hours while I was getting my goal for the day. All right. Now let's get into the actual trades. The trades, where is it? It's this one right here. Okay, so we'll start out with gold. Gold's had some awesome trades today. I didn't get much of it, but you can see all of these things. It was just picking it off right at the pivot high every time. Well, not every time, but a lot of the times. It was picking it off right at the pivot highs and lows. I mean, it started out in here with all these great trades. Look at every one of those trades. That's just incredible. And it was working out really well, but I only got a couple of trades there. I only managed to get a couple of trades on that, and 2 of them were break even and 1 was a plus 10. So this was a break even. That was my plus 10. This was another break even, and that was all that I did. Okay, I was doing something else while all these beautiful trades were happening. I believe I missed all those trades. They're just awesome trades. Look at, I picked off the top on every one of those. Anyway, in the break, it picked off a couple more bottoms right here, there, and there. Had that one there that didn't work out, but there were enough that did work out that it would have been pretty easy to accept that one that didn't. Again, you're not looking to trade 100 times. You're looking to trade to get your goal for the day. All right, crude oil, we only traded once in crude today, and I stopped out. The crude was kind of a mess, and I was using this to show other things. It wasn't just crude, because the crude was kind of a mess today. So I did take 1 trade right here. This is one I took, and it stopped me out. And I didn't do any of these other trades. Looks like I gave a few decent indications. Some that didn't work, like that one didn't work. That one would have been a break even. That would have stopped out. That would have been a good one. That would have been a break even. That would have stopped out. This over time would have worked out. That would have stopped out. But all that's starting to break now. Crude was not an easy thing to trade today, and I only traded it once, and I got to stop out on it. The ES. The ES is kind of squirrely today. It was, well, I mean, what Dwayne's showing you, or will show you, when you get to the 30-minute, it was, let's go here. He was having a tough time deciding this morning where it was going to go from this level right here. After that big move this morning, he was having trouble deciding where it was going to go from there. And I was saying, if we closed, I think it was the 11 o'clock candle above the ribbon. I believe that's this one right here, the 10:30 to 11 o'clock. If we close that one above the ribbon, then it seemed like it was probably going to move up, but that's a bearish candle. So it could go in either direction. And it did move up for a little bit, but then it just turned around and went right back down. So it's really been kind of crazy. You can't really tell anything from that. But what we did is trade everything in between, because we did have plenty of time to trade everything in between. So we'll go back to the beginning. And I mean, on the ES, we didn't trade all that much on the ES. I say we traded everything in between. We ended up with break even on the ES. Okay, but we started out in here. Our first trade right here was a break even trade. See, it was picking off the tops pretty well there too. And again, you only need to get 8 ticks on the ES to get your goal for the day. And I got a break even there. I missed that. I missed that. I missed that and that. And I got another break even there. I got another break even here. I missed that. Then turn around and I got something here. What did I get on that? Plus 4 ticks on that one. Oops. Plus 4 ticks on that one. Then get into here. I didn't do anything all through here. Then I stopped out on this. That put me at -6. Then I missed all of those trades. I took a break even there. I missed that one. Missed that one. Missed that one. Those are really nice winning trades. Then on this one, it looks like I got back to break even. I picked up 6 ticks there, got back to break even, and right here I had another break even trade. And I believe that was it for me on the ES. It was it for me on the ES. As we get into the break here, there were some more trades right there. And then it turned around and started going short. And there was some opportunity here as well on the short side. Okay, and then that was pretty much it. This gave some decent opportunities today. You see I only have part of the ribbon in here, and that's because I used this chart to explain the evolution of the TradingView charts. I'll go through that here again in a minute. The NQ, we just had a ton of trades today. All right, I traded more on the NQ than I did on any of the other markets, probably all of them together. But I still just scratched the surface here on the NQ. Even with my 170 ticks, it was still just scratching the surface. And I had some trades that was up like 30 ticks, and I ended up taking a break even on. So, you know, it was really, I wanted to get to 200 ticks, but then I ran out of time. Again, the arrows that are outside of the painted area are trades. They're arrows that I put on that that I actually took. And the arrows that are inside the painted area are arrows that are automatically generated. Okay. So we started out right in here in the pre-market. And we're going even further. Right in here in the pre-market. All right, we had our first couple of trades in here. The first one was a +16. The next one after the +16 ended up being a +24. So we're at +40 at that point. Then we stopped out, put us back down to 20. Then we had a whole bunch of trades in here that worked out just fine, but I missed them all. I mean, it was bouncing around really fast at the open. We had the high impact news in the morning in the pre-market, so that really caused a lot of movement. But we went from 20 up to 52 on this trade. Okay, and then from 52, we went to 68 on that trade. Then we had a break even there. Look at all these trades in here that I missed. And these arrows, again, guys, these arrows are triggered automatically. All right, I'm not putting those arrows in there. Went from 68 to 76 there, and then the next one, all those trades. Had a break even there, went from 76 to 110, went from 110 to 114. Look, that was a huge trade right there. I only got 4 ticks out of it, but I know some of the guys got like 60 out of that. I went from 114, and wow, there's a lot of trades in here. I think I had shut the NQ off for a little while so I could focus on other things. I went from 114 to 158 in here. I think that I might have put that arrow there in the wrong spot, but it's pretty close to there. 158, then I went from 158 to 162. And then 162 to 170. There's one more trade in here where I got 8 ticks somewhere. But you see all these trades that I was missing in here. My crew is at 10 range, not 7. Okay, thanks, David. Well, there was one more trade in there that I got 8 ticks on somewhere. I will fix that. And during the break, you can see how there are just more trades, just more and more and more trades. Triggering over and over and over and over. You get a good strong trend like this, it just nails that top again and again. And you know, you can change the setting of the sensitivity so that it won't trade when it's flat like this. I have it changed to a 0.35, but if you made it like a 0.5 or something, it probably wouldn't trade much at all in that kind of a scenario. And then when it starts getting down like this, it would nail all of these trades for you too. Okay, so that is the NQ. Now I said I was going to do something really quick. I'll do it really quick to show you something kind of fast. I don't have a lot of time to show it to you. Oops, I did it again. I don't have a lot of time to show it to you. But here we go. How many times am I going to do that? The evolution of this, right? Now, anybody that's followed us for any length of time, if you go in here and you start out with what we had to begin with, where we just had this, the BBC and the MA1, right? We didn't have that. We didn't have that. That, 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 or that. Even the slingshot was different. You know, we had the slingshot looked like this, looks like that. Okay. Now, for years we worked with that. Then I built on this and I made the ribbon. Okay, so we added the ribbon into that. We changed this, the BBC, from that to be this, so it was color coded. And then we got rid of the MA1, and we had the BB1, BB2, and BB3 that created the ribbon. And that's what we have in NinjaTrader and DT Pro. We have that, and the bottom slingshot is what we have in NinjaTrader and DT Pro. But the problem here was figuring out the short-term and long-term trend. Okay, so I added this to help you figure out the short-term trend. If the black is in the green, short-term trend is bullish. If the black is in the red, short-term trend is bearish. Then I added this to figure out the long-term trend. Okay, so if this is going up in green, short-term trend is, long-term trend is bullish. And if it's going down in red like this, then the long-term trend is bearish. And within that, you have the short-term trend, which is the darker color. So I added these things in here so you could see the outline of the long-term trend within all of that. Then I added this to help you see when the long-term trend and the short-term trend are both in the same direction. Okay, and then I added this, the little arrows, to help you see when a trade setup is about to come. We hadn't used the slingshot for any of this yet. Okay, and then we added in the slingshot, and that's what gave us these. Okay, so now we got the slingshot. When the slingshot comes out of the oversold or the overbought, and you got the right kind of trend with it, long-term trend with it, it's going to trigger the arrow. And that is your trade setup. That was the evolution of the whole thing right there in a nutshell. All right, it is time for me to just about start the other things. So I want to fix this. Thank you, David, for pointing out that that was on the 10 range, on the 7 range. Either way, it didn't give me any trades today. And if you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to take a free trial, go here to mytradingiq.com. And it's right here, sign up for free training, 9:30 to 11:30, right there. Okay. Now, if you have not gotten into the live stream that I'm going to start right now, you want to go here to TradingView.com. And right down here, it's going to say upcoming stream. Upcoming stream down here somewhere. Oh, somewhere down there, it's going to say upcoming stream. Just click on that. Okay, and it'll be something that looks a lot like this. But it'll say 1 to 1:30, and that is what I got to start right now. Okay, that's how you get into that one. Now let me go over there and actually start that. Like that. Click that. Start that. I think I need to hit refresh on this page. Refresh on that page. There you go. Now I can click this and do entire screen and that and share. And shut off the camera and hit start the stream. Okay, and then we'll get back to the charts. Okay, so now we are back in the charts and the stream is live. All right. That was my transition. The ES now, this is the crude on a 7-tick range. This is gold on a 7-tick range. What that means when I say 7-tick range is every bar has 7 ticks in it. This is the ES on a 7-tick range, mini S&P 500 on a 7-tick range. And over here, this is the NQ on a 16-tick range. Now, something just flashed on my other screen. I wasn't really sure. I'm hoping that it didn't cut off the hang on, this is kind of messing me up here. Okay, hang on a minute. Okay, the live stream is still good. Okay, there was just a trade there on the ES just a second ago. That was a really nice looking trade. Oh, something just flashed again. Is the live stream still good again right now? Because, okay, all right. Because on my side, it looks like it's got an issue. Oh, that was this. I hit cancel on that. All right, that's why that went huge. And okay, it just disconnected me over there. On the yes, it was just a short trade right in here. Okay, that I meant to go take. Hang on. Get my ES DOM. There it is. All right, so now all my DOMs are back up and active, except my NQ DOM. That one is back up and active now too. All right, so here we go. We're right here on the NQ. The long-term direction is flat right here, so we're not going to have any trades right in there. The ES just had this trade right here. What you're looking for is long-term direction up here, these outer bands. All right, if they're separated and going down, then long-term direction is bearish. And then let me put this slingshot away. Put that one away. Okay, and then down here, all you're looking for is the lead line, the white line, to come out of the overbought or out of the oversold, depending which direction you're going, and work its way down to the other side, right? From the overbought down to the oversold, or from the oversold up to the overbought. But your entry point would be the down close of this bar. Now, these are all range bars. This is a 7-tick range, this is a 7-tick range, this is a 7-tick range. This is the 16-tick range. We have a 16 on the NQ because it's just so volatile. It bounces around so fast. 7 ticks there wouldn't, it bounced around so fast. Sometimes you get that slippage. But you can see here on the gold, this was a half hour ago, really, right here on the gold. We had a beautiful long trade right in there. And the crude oil, we haven't traded much on the crude at all today. This morning, the results, we had 170 ticks on the NQ. We were break even on the ES. We were minus 10 on the crude. We just one trade. We were plus 10 on the gold. And we were break even on the YM with just one trade on the YM. If anybody has any questions, you can type them in. And if you want to see any other kind of ticker or anything like that, just type in whatever you want to see. If you want to see equities, type in whatever equity you want to see. If you want to see some crypto, type in the crypto symbol. Just give us the symbols and we'll type in whatever you want. We'll view whatever you want. Okay. All right. So just gonna put all this, position all this stuff so it looks reasonable. Now right here on this one right here, we've got the shorting opportunity. It did not put in a lower swing, so that makes any follow-up trade right here on the short side makes it a little bit questionable. All right, so what is really happening with this? If it didn't put in the lower swing, is it going to change directions right here? We'll have to wait and see. All right, the crude oil is, I don't have crude DOM up anymore. I'm going to change this to the YM. Okay. I don't have a crude DOM up. I have a YM DOM up though. By the way, today is rollover day. That's why this was in a 10, David, because I was looking at the YM on a 10. Today is rollover day. At the end of the day today, we're going to roll over from the H contract to the M contract on all the indexes and probably on the currencies too, I think. The gold just gave a trigger over there now. The reason the gold gave the trigger is because the long-term direction is bullish and the lead line, the white line down here, just crossed up out of the oversold area. Right, just crossed up out of the oversold area. So this is the actual trade right here. And every trade starts with ticks of risk, and when I get 4 ticks in profit, I move the stop to break even. Now this trade should make it up to 69.5 right now. Okay, I'll draw that in for you. Should make it up right here at least, 69.5. It should go further than that, but 69.5 would be enough to get the stop to break even. And after 4 ticks in profit, I bump the stop. So it's got to go 1 more tick, and then I bump the stop there, stop to break even. Okay, now I like all the way up here at 70. 1870. So I'm going to going to make a little adjustment to this and just put another line here. Okay, I should get to both of those now. But we are going to lock in just one tick right here, right now. And we'll see where it goes. If it takes me out with one tick, that's fine. And it looks like it's going to. And it did take me out with one tick. Okay, but I still like those numbers on gold. The ES is about to give another short. Remember what I said a minute ago about the ES being questionable on the second opportunity down. Now, it didn't give a ribbon. I mean, it didn't give an arrow on this because this didn't pull back far enough, but it was a valid short trade. Okay, so I'm going to lock in 3 ticks on that. And that should go down to 3880 right now. 3 ticks, 4 ticks on that. Okay, so and we're out with 4 ticks on the ES. Oh wait, did we hit 4 ticks? Yeah, we hit 4 ticks. So we're out with 4 ticks on the ES. So let me put these trades in here. I didn't put them in yet. This is a blue trade. We just picked up 1 tick. And this over here is a blue trade where we just picked up 4 ticks. Oh, I think I do that wrong. Right there, 1 ES with 4 ticks. Oh, sorry, it wasn't on that. It was over here. I was wondering why that didn't look like a trade. That's not a trade set up there. I was wondering why that was like that. What was I thinking? This right in here was the spot to short it right in there. One of those, either here or there. I think it was this one right here. Okay. I feel like I'm kind of caught up now. Felt like I was racing around a little bit. What we want to see here on this is a higher swing. Now this is, I don't know if you guys remember yesterday when we had the gold taking forever to give us a higher swing, and I said, I took it on the first one, and then I took the second one that didn't put it in, and then I said I wanted to wait until it put in a higher swing. What actually worked out yesterday is it took forever to do it, but when it did finally put in that higher swing, it just kept going and going and going and never pulled back. So I told you when I said it's probably going to go and I'm going to regret not doing it because it's just going to keep going. And that is exactly what happened. But I don't really regret not doing it because I would have had to sit through a whole bunch of sideways action to wait for that. Okay, so I'm checking over here. If anybody has any questions, anybody that's in the live stream right now, if you have any questions, you want to see any stock symbols, if you want to look at stocks, you want to look at cryptos, you want to look at ETFs, anything like that, just type in. I'll jump to it and we can look at it. Okay. The gold, we had that one trade here where we picked up 4 ticks, and now I don't know that we're going to, and we picked up 1 tick, and I don't know that we're going to have another trade right now on the gold. The NQ is getting really flat here. You see the long-term direction is flattened right out, so we're not going to have any trades there. You see we're not even, we're not going to have any trades there. Oh, that's flat like that. This is another short right here on the ES, but again, it didn't put in the lower swing. It's the same thing with gold yesterday all over again. I'm not going to take this right now because it didn't put in a lower swing. I want to see it put that lower swing in and then pull back and give us another opportunity. You can see the Dow is flattening out right here too. So we'll just wait this out and see what direction it's actually going to go in. I don't know if we're actually hitting any weekly trading zones right now in any of those markets, any of these markets right here. But it wouldn't surprise me if we're pretty close to one or a midpoint between them, which would also be an area of support or resistance that the market always seems to react to. Wow. So I can finally stop talking for a minute. All right. You can see how these markets are really flat. This has got bearish separation, suggesting it's still going to keep going down. This would be another trade right here. I'm not going to do, but I'm just going to wait until we actually do get a lower swing. Okay. If we get one here, it'll be exaggerated over here on the NQ, I imagine, and maybe even on the YM. I can't really tell with the YM. It might be over there too, but we'll see. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to take this trade on the NQ that just gave that arrow. All right, it's given the arrow because we have just a tiny bit of bullish separation, and the ribbon just came out of the oversold. So I am not going to take that. I probably need to adjust the NQs so that we don't get arrows when it's like this right here. That should be a 0.35, but I was doing so many different things with the charts. Just make sure it is still there. Okay. We almost have a lower swing here on the ES. Almost there, but not quite. All right. There it is. It's coming up. So if I look at the ES right now, on the downside, it wants to go through the low of the day. 38.78 is where it's trying to get down to. 38.78. So the low of the day is right over here. Okay, but it's trying to get to 38.78. The low of the day is just a little bit above that. It's like right here. That's what it looks like it's trying to do. So it's at this point in the day, it's having trouble right at the low of the day, putting in like a double bottom kind of look. See, the YM is given a short trade right here too that I'm not going to take. I'm just going to wait and let it find some direction. Netflix has a nice move. Okay, let's look at Netflix. Trying to think of what I need the sensitivity to be set at. But let's just NT NF FLX. Oh, I didn't. I left the T in. Netflix. Here it is. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to do on 100 tick range. 100 range. And there. Okay, so the way that Netflix looks to have gone today, you have to adjust the arrows. I'm not sure if these arrows are in the right places because I didn't adjust the sensitivity for this. But this up move here did not give a long trade. I guess if you took this right here, you had a little bit of long trade from right here, 296.39 up to 297.84. So we had a buck there, and then it pulled back in here, and it didn't really give you any opportunity here. It didn't come up and hit the ribbon. It hit the outer band, but it didn't hit the ribbon in there. Okay, so you really didn't get anything else in there for Netflix. But if we look at that, I've got it in a bigger picture for you. Okay, and this is looking at it with each bar being $1. Now, if we made each bar 50 cents instead of $1, that might give you a little bit different picture. Like right here, you would have been looking for a short in here. Give you a couple arrows in here that worked out really well. This one didn't go anywhere, but this was a nice one. This was a nice one. And this is the whole day trading with Netflix. Okay, these short-term trades in here. You had along in here, and this is, you know, if you have enough shares on, each one of these is two of these is $1. So if you got 1,000 shares on, then that's, you know, a couple $1,000 bucks, a couple $1,000 bucks, a couple $1,000 bucks, a couple $1,000 bucks, a couple $1,000 bucks. Or if you have 500, or if you have 100, you know, talking $100 instead. A couple $100 for each one of those moves. Like right here, you know, from this move right here, 93.30, it just dropped all the way down to, it's still dropping right now to 90.30. That's $3 right there. If you had 100 shares on, it's $300, right? Or you could use options. If you're going to use options, Ken, you'd probably want to look at it on something else. We went over this in the partners meeting last night, but you'd probably look at it on something like this, okay? Where it gets below the ribbon and then pulls back into it. And in this, I wasn't really looking. I just had, you know, I made the ribbon look, I just had the BBC part going in and out of the long-term direction. So I made it look like this. I did that last night. I had it looking like, I'll leave those on, but take this off, this off, this off, this off. There, like that. Okay, so when price gets down below the ribbon, right here, the BBC part of the ribbon, it pulls back up, the long-term duration is bearish. You want to take those trades off of there. Okay. That's what it looked like last night. I don't know if you remember it, but No, I gotta put a new context on. Hang on. Let me just drop a new one of those on there. Make it look normal. Okay, and I'm gonna put on the arrows because they're not on by default. There. Okay, so we're back to normal. All right, so the ES did continue to move down. The NQ did. This did, and I'm sure if I go back to the YM on this right now, the YM probably did too. Okay, so now we can look for more trades in that direction. Okay. Okay, so this right here was actually a short on the NQ. I didn't do, but you don't have to have an arrow. If you don't have an arrow, but it pulls into the ribbon, and the black line is in the red, you can take a down close off any touch of the ribbon. Okay, you're not going to get an arrow if the slingshot doesn't agree with it. You're not going to get the arrow for it. Okay, this we got to put this back on the 10 range. On the down, you see that gave a couple of trades in here. This is on the 7 range, and that just gave the one way over here. And this did not get into the ribbon, so that's not a trade by itself right now, not yet. Okay. Anybody have any questions about any of this stuff? If you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to take a free trial with us, go to mytradingiq.com and sign up for the free trial. Okay. It is 5 days, and it is really absolutely free. Here. I'll put it in over here. Okay. All right, so now we're looking for a pullback up here. You see how oversold this has been? That's what all those white arrows are coming from. The long-term direction is bullish, and the white, the lead line down here, is totally oversold. That's why you're getting all those arrows in there. Chili's. I did. Kristen, are you in here right now? There's a short on the NQ right here, guys. Here, the short on the NQ. I'm going to lock in 1 point, 2 points, and I'm out with 2 points. Okay, and that should go all the way down here to 81. All right, but that was a short right here. And there's a short here on the ES. The ES is going into the low of the day. This is the low of the day right here, but I think it's going to go right through that here. I think it's going to go right through that down here to 38.70. Okay, now 4 ticks in profit, and I bumped the stop to break even. Okay, that's what we're looking for here. 4 ticks, 4 ticks. That's 2. And now we're back to break even. The gold is starting to pull up right here. That was 2 again. 3, 3, 3. One more 4. Stop to break even. Lock in 1 tick on this ES, and it should go down here, right to 30.70. That would be 12 ticks if it gets all the way down there. All right. I got me with just 1. Okay, but 30.70 is where that should be going down to. I'll draw that in for you. 38.70. Sometimes I'll leave out the first digits, but you get the picture, right? Okay, the NQ is about to trigger again here too. Actually, the NQ is not. I took the trade anyway, thinking it was, but it's not a valid trade. So I'm just going to take profit on this, but not count it toward the total. Okay, not count that toward the total. We didn't get an arrow because this wasn't overbought, and it's not a trade because the black line needed to be in the red right there. Not having the arrow, the black line needed to be in the red. Okay, so now if we get a down close, that will be a trade now. So get ready for that. Okay, because now the black is going to be in the red and will have been in the ribbon. We're not going to get an arrow, but if we get a down close, that would be a valid trade. See this consolidation it's having right here at the bottom, though. It's not putting in lower lows yet. It's a little bit troubling, but it's a valid trade. Okay, right there. So with the NQ, after 8 ticks in profit, the stop goes to break even. Come on, break. Uh-oh. There. There's too much of a delay in between. I put it on twice. All right, gonna lock in 4 on that. And we're in at 84.25. 84.25. 8 on that. Come on, give that big push down that it's dying to do right now. There it's going. All right, 84.25 down to 79. That's 5 points, 6 points, and I was 6 points on that one. Okay. All right, the ES did end up going down here. So I had 2 trades on the ES. Both of those were okay. That one, that was the other one I did a few minutes ago. This is going to be over here, right there. I got that trade too, but that didn't count. This one does count. And that's the big push down I was looking for. A little while ago, I was saying it should go down here to 81. It just got right through that. All right. I don't see any more questions coming in. Does anybody got any questions? It's 1:22, so we have another 8 minutes left in here. 8 minutes of fun left in here. If you've not taken a free trial with us and you want to go to mytradingiq.com, sign up for the free trial right there. If you have TradingView, give us your profile name, and we get your indicator set up for you right away. Okay, we can get everything set up for you right away if you have TradingView. This was not a trade because it did not get into the overbought area. So you're not going to get an arrow, and it didn't hit the ribbon, so it's not a trade at all. Right? So I don't see any questions coming in. You guys must be tired. It's Friday. You're all tired of making money. Me too. Just kidding. This is fun. I love doing this. All right. We need to pull back into the ribbon. We've got to pull back into the ribbon here on the NQ. If we get a down close in, it pulls the white out of the oversold and overbought. That is going to be a trade, and there it is. I just shorted it. Here it is. We need 8 ticks to get the stop to break even. We're up 4 ticks, 8 ticks, 12 ticks, 12 more. Okay. Did I explain that well enough as it was happening? Watch the Dow right now. Okay, what did I get on that? 12 more. All right, now the Dow did not give us a trade, but it's about to. There it is. That's what I was looking for on the Dow. I was looking for the white line to get out of the overbought right there. I took the Dow, and the Dow, because it is a 10-tick range, I have a 15-tick stop. Okay, there it is, and it's got to go. I forgot what I said. Into profit. I think it's got to go 6 ticks into profit to get the stop to break even. All right, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think we're going to put the stop to break even here in just a minute. There it goes. Stop to break even on that. Okay, and I'm going to lock in 2 ticks on this little Dow trade and see where it goes. Looking, it should go down here through 922 right now. It should go through 922. Right, it ended up taking me out with 2 ticks, but I'm going to draw in the 922 for you because I think that that's what it's going to do. 22 right there. Okay, so that was another successful trade. Right in. 2. And it's at 1. So far in this session, this half-hour session, I traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And I don't know. If you guys aren't doing this, I don't know why. This is the only thing I can do to make it easier is to actually have a place that trades for you. Yeah, I know. How can you change a font color on the bar numbers? The font color on the bar numbers. These over here, you mean, Mark? These numbers in here? Or the bars themselves? Now send me a picture of what you're trying to do. The ES has got a short right there, by the way. I'm gonna throw my stop to break even on that. It just had like a gap down too. I'm gonna lock in 2, and the ES is trying to make a big move right here, I think. Right, we're in at 65, and it looks like it wants to go down here to 67.85. Okay, now I'm gonna put it down here at 60. I'm gonna lock in 4 ticks, 8 ticks, 12 ticks. I'm gonna bump this down to here, and we got 12 locked in, and we're out with 12. Okay, that was a great trade right there. Mark, send me a screenshot of what you're trying to do. Text it to my phone. Okay. We have 3 minutes left in here, guys. 3 minutes left. And for all you guys who are doing this through TradingView, you coming in here to watch the live stream in TradingView. You know, if you haven't taken a free trial with us and you want to get more of this, you can do it on your own desktop, so you're not stuck with just a half an hour a day. It's pretty easy to do. Okay, pretty easy to take the trial, pretty easy to take the trades, put all the pieces together. It's not hard to do. Okay. All right, so we're pulling back here. The white line here, the lead line is overbought. The lead line is overbought here on the YM, is overbought here on the NQ. So get ready for a trade on all 3 of those markets. There's the NQ. The ES isn't there yet. Hang on, the ES is about to get there. There's the ES and there's the YM. So they all gave the down close, all right? Every one of those gave the down close. After that big leg down, they pulled back and they've all given a down close. Now the NQ has gone enough to move the stop to break even. The ES and the YM have not gone enough to move the stop to break even yet. Okay, so just watch these and see how they all play out. I'm not doing any of them because I didn't have time to do all of them. So I didn't do any because they were all happening at the same time. I think the NQ is going to play out first. Okay. And it should happen now. If it's going to happen, it should happen now. What you anticipate is that this line right here is going to get all the way down here into the oversold. Right? This one didn't work out, and this one didn't work out. So maybe the NQ is not going to work out. But what you anticipate is that this line is going to turn down, get all the way down into the oversold. There it goes. Okay, so this one and this one both would have been stopped out to the tick. This gave a secondary trade, which you could take right there if you wanted to. This didn't give a secondary trade, but this is still a valid trade. It's going to give another arrow here. If we get the white line to cross down out of the oversold, it'll give another arrow. And this, I'm still looking for the green line to get all the way down into this. It's a red line now, but to get all the way down into the cycle. And there it goes. The cycle, get down into the oversold. Right, so there's the arrow that I was talking about on the ES. You got the one over here on the YM. Right, so this was actually the trade on the YM. This wasn't a valid trade over here on the YM, but this was a valid trade on the ES, and it was followed up by this one right here. And this was the valid trade on the NQ. Okay, so it is 1:30 right now, and it's time for me to wrap it up for the morning. For the afternoon. The NQ is about to give us one more trade here. It's not going to give an arrow on this because it's not in the overbought area right down here in the slingshot. So there it is. That is a trade off the ribbon. Now, anytime if you have your long-term direction is bearish, the price touches the ribbon and the black stays in the red, you can take that down close. Okay, you can take that down close right there. So here it is. I'm not going to count this toward the total because I don't even know how much it is, but you can see that that is a very nice trade. Okay, I'm not going to count that toward the total because I wasn't going to keep it track. But you see the ES worked out, that one worked out, and the YM worked out. There was a stop out here. This would have been a stop out right here on the ES. Or I'm sorry, this one right here would have been a stop out on the ES. Okay, that would definitely have been a stop out. This was the appropriate trade to take right here, and it would have been profitable trade on the first move, and then the next move was still a valid trade to take it again. Right? This is not a trade here yet. I guess I'm going over just a little bit, but this is not a trade here yet. And over here, we should have put in a lower swing right here. We should have put in a lower swing right there, and it should have been a lower swing right there. That's a little troubling that it didn't do any of that. But this was a great trade right here. This is the one that I jumped on that I didn't keep track of. But let's guess. We're going to end it right now, I guess, and just go over the ones that I did keep track of. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades that I did keep track of, and we got 1 tick in gold, a total of 17 on the ES, and a total of 42 on the NQ, and 2 ticks on the YM. So that's not a bad half an hour. If you guys have not taken a free trial with us, go to mytradingiq.com, sign up for the free trial. All right. If you don't have your TradingView platform, go to mytradingiq.com, click on trading platforms, and it's a tab in the upper right hand corner. There's instructions in there on how to sign up for the TradingView. And to get our stuff, you got to give us your profile name. If you already have TradingView, you just got to give us your profile name. Go sign up for the free trial. All right. That's it. With that, I'm going to wrap it up for this live stream and send it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Okay, Dwayne, it is wrapped up and ready to go back out to you. All right.
There it is. All right.
There it is. Excellent.
Okay, out of the morning session, recap of the recap.
6 minutes, 3 trades, $600.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I'll put the end result of this in here, and there you have it. It's all yours. Just another nice trade right there on the NQ. Another nice trade on the YM. It's just happens again and again. If you guys aren't doing this stuff, I don't know why.
Okay, guys, this is huge right here. Okay, price is traded through the 50% Fib retracement from the October 13th low. That's the low of the downtrend that began March 29th of last year. From the low to the high put in February 2nd. For price to hit a 50% Fib retracement on the daily chart and not bounce speaks volumes. Okay. I would have not been surprised to see it hit the 50 and bounce all the way back up to the 38. The fact that it traded right through the 50. Then watch this low right here at 38.19 as potential support. And then right here, 38.06 and a quarter. And then that brings us down to the 62% Fib retracement. Unless buyers get committed, remember, it takes financial commitment for price to rise. For price to fall, it does not take financial commitment. Buyers simply have to hit the pause button. Buyers stop buying, price drops. Really is that simple. And remember, fibs are not proprietary. Been around since the 14th century. And institutions are watching daily, weekly, and monthly charts the way we watch smaller time frames. So, this is a huge statement. Now, buyers could come in and drive it up. The fact that we plowed through it, well, that speaks to me of lower prices. On the ES, I had talked earlier about potential resistance and this window, which we traded right through. YM, zone, Russell, hit the short target multiple times below the lowest weekly trading zone. NQ, zone, zone, zone. Now we're below the zone. However, on the NQ, we still have one more zone below, down at 11,440. Don't think we'll see that today, but keep it in mind when the markets open Sunday night. And remember, we go live Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's when the Logic 247 channel opens. That's when the concierge trade alerts come out. And we've had some quiet Sunday nights of late. So, with what we've seen over the last couple days, maybe that's about to change. And as futures traders, we don't care if price is moving up or down, because you can go long, short, long again, all in the same hour if that's what the chart in front of you dictates. Okay? Get on crude, we hit the short target multiple times, we hit the long target. Two-sided action. Gold, we're consolidating at the zone. Silver, we found resistance at the zone that was published Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. And we found support at the zone. This is the lowest weekly zone this week for silver. And euro had a big rampage to the upside. But again, two-sided action. Due to the volatility from the econ reports this morning, we hit both the long target and the short target. Keep your eyes peeled. We'll walk you through it every step of the way, each and every day. If you have not yet become a member of the CFRN family, then we really do have a very vibrant community. Go to eminifuturestrading.com. Couple mouse clicks, you become a lifetime member. No recurring fees, no upsells, nothing to buy from us ever again. No nonsense. 9 out of 10 new traders fail because they don't have a teacher. Which is why we provide a teacher 2 hours a day, live in real time. Your job is to show up and ask questions. People say, how long will it take me to learn your strategy? Depends upon you. People learn at different speeds, but you roll up your sleeves and start trading in your demo account as you're learning the strategy. The 2420 blueprint is designed to help you go from 1 to 20 contracts over a period of 24 months. You start out in demo because you need to learn the strategy. We want you to put together 10 consecutive days in a row where you reach your goal in 10 trades or less. Once you accomplish that, the blueprint will give you the green light to go live with one contract. Now, that first contract is funded with your startup capital. But once you go live with one contract, your goal is to increase your account balance by $2,000. When that happens, the blueprint will give you the green light to add a second contract. Big difference between the first and second contract is you're adding the second contract with profit you earned in the market. Blueprint's going to notify you when it's time to add contract number 3, number 4, number 5, 10, all the way up to 20. By then, you've got the hang of it. You only add one at a time. You only add with profit you earned in the market. If you have the discipline to follow that, it makes it more difficult to blow up yet another account. As a lifetime member, Passport is your all-access pass. Everything we do, everything we've ever done, and whatever we do in the future. The 2420 blueprint is going to help you write your business plan and your trading plan. 9 out of 10 new traders don't even know they need that. They just think, hey, I'll click the mouse, I'll make some money. Yeah, we all know that doesn't. Okay? Many of you have invested a lot of time and a lot of treasure in shiny objects, holy grails. There is no holy grail. The only holy grail in trading is learning how to trade. Once you're able to read the chart, understand the indicators, understand how price behaves around weekly trading zones, you will learn how to trade. And we're not teaching you how to trade one specific market or instrument. The strategy we teach you, the indicators you own for life, are fluid across all markets, all time frames. How's that possible? Simple. Price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. From futures to individual stocks, crypto, forex. Support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again. It's a never-ending cycle that's been in place since the inception of the markets, and it will continue to be in place until the markets cease to exist. It's how markets. Our community in Telegram, filled with traders, sharing their charts, sharing their trades, encouraging one another. So many of the chat rooms and whatnot on the internet that have to do with trading, they're filled with trolls, lots of negativity. Not in our house. Because in our house, people are actually learning how to trade. And they're always happy to help the new guy or new lady who comes along and really wants to learn how to trade. And from our side of the desk, it's pretty easy to see who's truly committed to succeeding as a consistent trader and those who are just playing around. The more you treat it like a business, the more it will behave like a business. You treat it like gambling, those are the kind of results you'll get. What you win in Vegas stays in Vegas. This is about building a business. It's not a circus act, it's not a parlor trick. It's understanding how price flows, how to identify windows of opportunity, and how to execute when the window presents itself. Now, we trade live the entire 2 hours each morning because that's what we commit to do. But you should stop once you reach your goal for the day. This is how you turn it into a business. 2 points out of the S&P is $100 per contract. 10 ticks out of crude or gold is $100 per contract. As you earn your way up the ladder, at 5 contracts, those same 2 points become $500, and at 10 contracts, those same 2 points become $1,000. At the 10 contract level, that puts you in the top 3% of wage earners worldwide. Trading's not easy, but it can be simple. And we continue to strive each and every day to make it as simple for you as we possibly can. So again, just go here, eminifuturestrading.com. Valerie and Michael will get your charts set up for you so you're ready to go when the market opens Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. As a passport holder, you'll also get the Logic 247 alerts, the concierge trade alerts, the Thursday night members only workshop. You'll have access to everything we offer for life. Let's wrap this up with a good word for the day. Yesterday we started talking about it's time to pray. So we're going to continue. Psalm 77:2. In the day of my trouble, I sought the Lord. Here are 2 important prayer principles. Number 1, talk to God when troubles surround you. If you're like most people, good times can make you trust in yourself instead of God. It's the troubled times that drive you to your knees. A bad medical report, a child hooked on drugs, a lost job, a troubled marriage. That's God's intention in allowing troubled times. He allows trouble to afflict us, not to make us miserable, but to bring us to Him. Hosea, the prophet, said this in Hosea 5:15, I will depart and return to my place until they recognize their guilt and seek my face. They will search for me in their distress. God's fatherly heart wants above all that we abide and confide in Him. And if it takes trouble to do it, He loves us enough to permit it. But when we turn to Him in our troubles, we discover that He is our refuge and strength, always ready to help in times of trouble. Psalm 46:1. And number 2, talk to God at all times. In his widely read classic, The Practice of the Presence of God, Brother Lawrence speaks of prayer as a continual conversation with God, a practice for all times, places, and circumstances. While cooking and washing dishes, he found conversing with God as satisfying as in his allotted prayer times. He counsels us that we may accustom ourselves to a continual conversation with Him in simplicity, that we need only to recognize God intimately, present with us, and to address ourselves to Him every moment. Now that sounds like Paul's instruction on the subject from Ephesians 6:18. With every prayer and request, pray at all times in the Spirit, and with this in view, be alert with all perseverance and every request for all the saints. Pray without ceasing. Sometimes you shy away from prayer. Oh, I don't know what to say. Talk to God. Same way you would talk to your mother, your best friend, or your spouse. He's there. He's listening. And the plans that He has for you are good plans, not plans to harm you or hurt you. We may go through troubled times to get to the other side. God promises that He is with us every step of the way. And that's our good word for the day and for the week. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks so much for joining us today. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, Call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.